The youngest person ever to be executed in the 20th century in the United States. In the 1940s, George Stinney Jr. was convicted of a crime advocates say he didn't commit after a swift trial that lasted only hours. And after all these years, there is now an effort underway to clear his name. Here's NBC's Mark Potter.
The events leading to the execution of 14-year-old George Stinney Jr. began in the tiny mill town of Alkaloo, South Carolina. In March 1944, two white girls, ages 11 and 7, were beaten to death while picking wildflowers along the railroad tracks separating the white and black sections of town. Historian George Frierson.
Their bodies were found in a creek bed in this general area, and they had been brutally murdered.
Shortly afterward, authorities arrested George Stinney Jr. and claimed he gave an oral confession. His family was run out of town, and Stinney was tried for murder in this courthouse packed with whites only. Ray Brown, who's producing a movie about the Stinney case, says the real killer got away and the trial was a sham.
It was a situation where he clearly was railroaded. There was no evidence. Nobody could find anything.
The trial lasted just 2 hours. The jury took only 10 minutes to convict, and Stinney was sentenced to die. During the trial here, Stinney was represented by a court-appointed lawyer who never put on his own case, never attacked the state's case, and never filed an appeal, which would have delayed the execution by a year. Just 83 days after his arrest, Stinney, weighing only 95 pounds, was strapped in the electric chair and put to death.
George Stinney did not do it.
But now, a South Carolina law firm has filed a motion seeking a new trial, which, if granted, could clear Stinney's name.
It would have been difficult, if not implausible, for George Stinney Jr. to have done what the government said he did.
The motion claims there is no physical evidence, no written record of the confession, no witnesses, and no trial transcript. Stinney's brother and sister, both still alive, say he was with his family at the time of the killings.
And you had a virtual mob outside of the courthouse putting the pressure on this jury because they weren't there to see George Stinney acquitted. They were there to see George Stinney convicted.
Advocates say the time has come to right a historic wrong.
This was a courthouse lynching, and I want an apology from the state of South Carolina for putting one of its citizens to death.
Stinney's body rests in an unmarked grave in this Baptist church cemetery. Advocates hope that by the end of the year, he'll get a new day in court. For today, Mark Potter, NBC News, Manning, South Carolina.